And then
I
we'll just
believe in
roll.
you.
Hey, thank you. All right, here we go. Hello, my faithful followers and friends. You are in for a treat today in the Ain't Gonna Be No Stupid podcast. We have Amber Marquez here today with us, and she is going to talk to us about beauty and beast mode. And you're going to know what that means when we're done. Amber, could you introduce us a little bit better? I know you from the life coaching meetings that we have. When I heard you speak, I was like, she's a good candidate for a guest in the future. So tell us about yourself.
Well, I guess I could say that I'm a professional crazy person, first of all.
You're right on the alley.
Yeah, right. I'm also a licensed cosmetologist and a certified professional life coach, as are you. Yes, I just graduated. And I hope to change lives by empowering women through beauty, and also through now my beast mode and my running. And they kind of all go together, and it's kind of exciting how they kind of fit. So I'm by no means an expert on the fitness, but I'm doing my best and I'm learning along the way. So
that's the beauty of the fact that you run. You are an expert in my mind, because I never understand runners. I like what I've got some questions for you later about that. But let's first of all get into our stupid, innocent stories. It could be anything that's quirky, that bugs you, that's something that you've done or that other people do. What do you got?
Well, one of my quirks, and if you're a good friend of mine, you know that this is my quirk, but I absolutely cannot stand the sound of chewing. It drives me absolutely insane. It literally makes my insides hurt. And there's actually a clinical name for it. I forget the name of it, but there is something clinical about it. So I'm not the only one who actually is bothered by it. Just some people, it's something that they can brush off, but I seriously will have to get up and leave the room if somebody's being obnoxious. If you're a good friend and you're smacking your gum, I'm like, just spit it out. Just please, just love me and just spit it out. But yeah, if I don't really know you, and I understand that people, they're just chewing. They aren't trying to be obnoxious. And so I try to show some grace with that. And so I'll be the one who will remove myself from this situation. But if you're my friend and you're my homie, and I'm kind of one of those, I don't hold back. I'll just tell you like it is. I'll be like, girl,
that's cool.
You're killing me here. And they're like, oh, I'm sorry. Am I crunching too loud? I'm like, yes. And I'm like, I'm sorry. So
that's so funny, because there was a time when I used to teach in Los Angeles, there was the big push at our school to cancel all gum in the school. Like they wanted us to regulate gum. Now we're regulating a little more harsh offenses, but we were into the gum in the 90s because it was all over the desk for some reason. But so because I was a young teacher and a rule follower at that time, sort of, I remember being such a stickler about catching kids with gum in their mouth. But then I felt my anxiety level went up because I was always trying to regulate their behavior. And I'd be in the middle of vacation at an airport, seeing somebody chew gum and being ready to pounce on them and tell them, spit out your gum. So I just could relate to you when you said that, because I also had this thing with chewing, but it's only with people that annoy me on a personal level. If they're chewing, then it bothers me. If I like you, it doesn't bother me. So even someone's trying to stop having bad breath before they kiss you, perhaps they put in a piece of gum. You can't be mad at them for that, right?
Right. Hey, I mean, if you can chew quietly, I don't mind.
Right.
Chew that gum. I'm a big gum chewer.
Oh, okay.
But I'm not a smacker.
Got it.
I don't smack it.
Got it.
There's a difference.
Yes. Good point. All right, let's move into our stupid situationship or tolerationship, or anything in your life that you want to share that maybe caused you to grow or pivot or something like that.
Well, about 4 or 5 years ago now, I was working for a hair tool company, and I was their sales rep. And I had a lot of stores, and they basically kept adding more and more and more to how many stores I had. I had all of Southern California, which is a huge territory.
Oh,
I also had San Francisco and Las Vegas. And so I was just, running around crazy. And when they added more stores to me, I was like, so what's my compensation? And my boss says, oh, well, if you want a good letter of recommendation, we'll totally give you one. And I'm like, excuse me? And my initial thought was like, well, you can just take your job, let's put that somewhere where the sun don't shine. And then I was like, wait a minute. And I just stood back and I said, okay. And I took a step back and hung up the phone, and I was like, all right, God, what do I do? Like, what do I do? Like, that's not okay. Like, them not paying me more for taking on additional 7 stores is not okay with me, And all I heard was wait. And it was almost like this audible, like, wait. And I'm like,
nice.
Wait, what am I waiting for? And I just kept praying that. I was like, okay, I'm waiting. Like, what am I supposed to do? Like, I have no idea what to do. And just kept praying. And then one day I was in the shower, where God always speaks to you, right? The shower or on a run, for me, on a run. And I hear, wait till the end of the year. And I'm like,
wow.
Was that you, God?
I know, and right? Those voices, you're like, is that? Yeah.
It was crazy. I was like, that was like really nuts. And this was probably in like September that this happened. And I called up a girlfriend of mine who is like a good prayer partner with me. And I was like, I think I'm going to stick it out till the end of the year. And then at the beginning of the year, I'm going to look for a new job. And she's like, I feel real peace about that. And I was like, yeah, so do I. Okay, this sounds good. And I decided to work my little heart out and prove to them that I was a valuable employee. And I wasn't going to just, half-heartedly do it, but I wanted to go in full force and just really do the best work that I could possibly do. And about maybe 2 months later, maybe a month later, we get a conference call, and all of my people who did exactly what I did, we were on the call, and they're like, so we're calling this conference call because we want to let you know that as of December 31st, that's your last day that you will be with the company.
Nice.
And I was like, what? And
so then I remember benefits, right? If you quit, you don't get benefits, right?
Right, exactly. And so I remember hanging up the phone, and I walk out and I look at my roommate and I'm like, I guess I don't have a job as of the beginning of next year. And she's like, what? And she's like freaking out. And I was like, what's really weird, what I'm freaking out about is that I'm not freaking out.
Yeah.
And I just have such a peace about it because God already told me, right?
That's awesome.
And so I actually, at the time, even though I was doing a lot of hair at the time, was not a licensed cosmetologist. Shh, don't tell anyone. But I had been doing makeup for like at least a dozen years by that time.
Sure.
And had always been really good with hair. I did everybody's hair for weddings, whatever. I have just always been really good at it. And I would hire stylists to work for me. And they'd be like, just go get your license. Like, you talk like a stylist, you act like a stylist, you always respond with the right answers. Like, because people would ask me questions, I'd be like, oh, do you da 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 da? And they would just like listen to me. And so I was never able to do that because I traveled so much. And with cosmetology school, it goes by hours, not by credits. And so you have to be there. You can't miss. And so it just didn't work out. And so to your point, I was able to collect unemployment and go to school and get my cosmetology license. So here I am in my early 40s, going back to school and basically starting over. And now I've been a cosmetologist legally for over 3 years. But I've been in the beauty industry for about 15 years.
So the takeaway with that story is definitely don't get too depressed when you get laid off. There is another opportunity around the corner, which I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That, and also just don't just run off and say the first thing that comes out of your mind, out of your mouth, you know, because it's, God might have something else in plan. And if I would have told my boss, you know, well, fine, then write me a letter of recommendation.
Yeah.
Then I wouldn't have had the opportunities that I had. And it ended up just really being a blessing. So yeah.
Wow. I want to hear more about your Christian journey as well. Does that tie into our main dish? Ain't gonna let anyone hold me down.
Sure. I mean, I think part of it, I grew up in a Christian home. My dad was a pastor growing up, and my dad wouldn't be half the man he was without the prayer and the strength of my mother. And my dad tells a story about how him and my mom walked into the office and they were going to meet with this prophet. I don't know. They were like having some kind of meeting or something. And he walks in and points at my mom and goes, she's way so much more spiritual than you. And my dad's like, what? And then once my dad like took a step back, he realized, yeah, my mom was definitely the driving force in, I think, me, my older brother, and my dad's life with God was her fervent prayer and intercession over our lives.
I believe so. That is so real. Yeah. Prayer works.
Yeah.
Big time. That's such an understatement, but it really does work. Wow. Yeah. That's cool. Another pastor's kid. You know, Errol's a pastor's kid.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe that's why he has so much fire.
Yeah.
Gusto.
You PKs.
I know, right? We're all a little crazy.
I love it. So am I. Come on. What would life be with like normal? Why be normal? Why you blend in and you're beige and milk toast and blah. So
usually.
So let's talk about your beast mode, because I know you mentioned you were in beast mode when I met you last fall or whenever that was. And now you're on another beast mode with, again, another goal. So talk about what this beast mode is.
Well, what I have coined beast mode, and this is just my personal thing. It might mean something totally different for other people, but for me, I decided beast mode is when I start training for a race. I changed my diet, so I eat really clean, a lot of veggies, high protein, low carbs, no refined sugars. I'm pretty regimented about it, and I work out every day. This past week, my first week of beast mode has been a little challenging with. I just got a stomach bug that just, I couldn't get out of bed. And I'm not that way. I mean, even like the first 3 days, I would wake up, I would run like 5 miles and just have to cut it short and call it and come home and just go to bed. Like it was bad.
I do love on Instagram story, you have daily report back to us and you're charting your journey, which is really inspiring because, you know, I think people like me who don't run have this impression that runners are just unstoppable and they love every minute of it. And is it true that runners don't like the first mile?
It's usually challenging. It's usually a lot of times my feet will feel like 1,000,000 pounds and you're just like, you know, trying so hard to do it. And then once you get your pace down and you get your momentum going, it's good. But yeah, that first mile can be really challenging.
Good. I also I'm off grains for 12 weeks. And I feel great. And I'm supposed to be off sugar, but I sometimes have some dairy-free ice cream. But I'm off all that and like high protein, low carb. It's really makes you feel better for sure. Yeah. So that's my beast mode. So tell me this, how do you keep yourself free from injury? I know you were nauseous, but then don't you also run into some?
Girl, I am notorious for tripping. I have a friend who's like, I'm just going to follow around you with some bubble wrap and duct tape. I'm like, would you? That would be
I
great.
think that's part of being a weirdo, because I always drop things, break things, lose things, and bump into things.
Yeah.
Build,
Yeah.
and
I'm
build
nuts.
things. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I think
Yeah.
it's a sign
I
of
trip all the
genius.
time.
It's a sign of genius. That's what I've decided.
I agree. No, I honestly, I mean, by the grace of God, I have never broken a bone. I've never like had to be hospitalized, nothing. But I definitely, when I fell like a couple of years ago and totally scraped up my knee, I mean, my knee just like swelled up like a balloon. And I was like, wow, I guess I'm not 25 anymore.
Right.
Cold, hard truth there.
I know.
But yeah, I mean, honestly, as I run, I'm like, God, just please keep my feet on the ground.
Good. Okay.
I mean,
Good. Prayer again.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
then running, would you call yourself then a type A person? Just always on a mission with a goal, and that like hard driving? Because I always picture runners that way. And I'm like, I could never roll like that. But I respect it so much.
Yes and no. If I set up a goal for myself, I'm pretty driven. It's really hard to make me waver once I say I'm going to do this. Like if I tell a friend, they'll go, oh, hey, I have some cookies. Do you want a cookie or whatever? And I'll be like, no, I'm on beast mode. They're like, oh, okay.
Good.
And it's like, they just know, don't bother
Love it.
trying to make her, because she won't.
Love it.
I mean, you can like put the whole plate of cookies in front of me and I'll be like,
I know. I
those
love
look
that.
really good.
No,
and I
it's
would
true.
eat every one of those.
Yeah.
But I would be smooth.
I had guests and they had some Lou Malinotti's pizza and I didn't touch it, which is like, that is a big deal for me. Big deal for me because I'm off
Pizza's
grain.
hard for me. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm off grain. So that was good. But you're right. I'm the same way. If I have a goal, I really do stick to it too. But you just said that you are also running for a race. Or is this a race that you're creating? Or is
the race that I'm on beast mode for right now it's nothing that's an organized race. It's me running. I'm going to be running 30 miles to commemorate the 30th anniversary of my mom's passing.
That long ago. You lost her young.
It's me 30 miles. Yeah.
30 years ago?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Are you trying to do the math in your head? Yes. I was 16 when my mom died.
No, that's no bueno. I'm so sorry.
That's okay.
Oh,
it's part of my journey, and it is what has made me who I am as well.
Sure. Getting through.
I like to look at it as, a lot of people are like, oh my gosh, you were only 16. And I choose to look at it as, I had 16 years of the most amazing mentor that anyone could ever have.
You're right. So, you know what? You did. You had this amazing prayer warrior powerhouse woman, as opposed to if you just had like a lackluster absent mother. So you really got a really rich foundation.
Yeah.
Wow. That's a great way to look at it. So
yeah.
Are you going 30 miles in a certain direction on the street?
Like, so I think I live in Huntington Beach. So I live really close to the ocean.
I used to live there. Just.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So see, then, so I'm going to run
on the Strand.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is this go all the way up like toward the airport, like Marina Del Rey area that way, or the south?
Yeah, it won't take me that far. Okay. I won't have to go that far, but yeah, I'll go towards Newport. I'll have to go probably not even that far into Newport. I still need to map out exactly what route I'm going to take, but yeah, I'm going to run along on the path, not on the sand.
Yeah.
Running on the sand is hard.
Really another workout. I know.
That's a whole nother.
That's big time. Game. That's beast mode.
That's like triple beast mode.
I used to do rollerblading every night by the beach when I lived in Hermosa. Fun. Yeah, it was the best smell of the ocean and everything. Was just
I know.
Memory. Whenever I get back there, oh, it's the best. A little dance.
Yeah.
So you're saying now in the future with the running, you want to continue to create opportunities for other women to.
Yes.
And tell us more about that.
So I am trying to organize and plan running from Huntington to New York. It's going to take several years of planning, and I really, honestly, I'm not a great planner. I'm not a great Googler. I'm not a great organizer. I can make you pretty, and I can run.
And that's awesome. You should need a partner for that. You know, someone
I know.
with
I really
the
do.
gift of organizing.
Absolutely. I'm really praying right now. I'm just steeped in prayer with the steps that God wants me to take as far as how to route this, how to begin it. There's so many different facets to it because I have to know where I'm going, how to get there, you know, all of the logistics for the running aspect of it. And then I also need to figure out who I'm going to support, what nonprofits, how to, I ideally would like to have a couple different places throughout my journey where people can run with me.
Yeah.
So, and in hopes to raise money to benefit, you know, the forgotten woman, basically is what it's come down to. As I was on a run, when I very first got this vision, if you will, or this dream dropped in my heart to do this, I was running, and I was like, all right, God, what do you want me to run for? I mean, my mother died of breast cancer, but for some reason that just wasn't resonating as far as like raising money for that. Not that there's anything against that. You know, and there's like human trafficking, and there's like, you know, running for water conservation. I mean, there's so many amazing things out there to support. And God brought back to my memory my mom always wanting to help out that forgotten woman. And I'm like, wow. Well, that kind of coincides with my beauty as well, because with my beauty, one of the things that I love about doing hair and makeup is having somebody sit in my chair and spinning them around and having them almost be in tears because they finally feel beautiful.
Yeah.
I mean, there's been so many times where it's almost like an experience. It's not just me like cutting their hair and okay, there you go. You know, it's more of especially with makeup, I see it a lot too, is showing somebody their true beauty and their true potential. And not that beauty is just physical, but I think for so many times, and there's so many different reasons that women feel so beat down on the inside that they just give up on the outside.
Yeah.
And sometimes just putting on that pretty shade of lipstick, or just a little bit of mascara, or maybe just curling your hair, or, you know, even brushing your hair is sometimes all you need to like look in the mirror and be like, I'm human again, you know?
That's
and it's
so true. During COVID, you know, none of us wore makeup for the entire year, which is great. I put makeup on the other day and my skin burned, but it was like, but I remember the feeling like when you're all
old makeup.
Oh, gee, that might be the problem. Okay, good to know.
Just a hint.
Okay, good to know. Got to throw it out. But yeah, now when you mention the forgotten woman, what do you mean more specifically about that?
I think that there's so many different ways women are forgotten. I think it could be, you know, maybe the abused woman, a woman who maybe like a teenage mom. I remember growing up, we had what we called a girls' residence in our basement, and we would rent out rooms to women. And I was so young, I didn't even realize, but half of them were like drug addicts who were coming off of drugs, and they were like homeless people. And like, I didn't know. It was just like, so-and-so is moving in. And we're
That's
like,
so
okay.
nice.
And like, they would join our family and they would eat dinner with us and they would help clean the house and like, they would do whatever, but they always had to get a job. And I never thought anything of it. That's just how it was. That's, there was always just people in our house and they would have to go to church with us. And like, we would pray with them and lead them to the Lord. And like, that's just how it was.
That's
That was
true Christian living when you invite them into your house,
Yeah. I mean, we had like 2 or 3 rooms and we would rent them out. And like, that's
so
just,
cool.
Yeah. And it was always just, my mom had such a heart for women, in like halfway houses or anything like that, and part of the vision too is when I was running and God brought to my remembrance my mom's heart for women was, I think about a week before that, I had been walking across the parking lot from my salon to go grab something to eat. And I just had my debit card on me. And I walked past these girls who were out there selling candy, and they were like asking for donations to help support their halfway house. And I was like, no, I don't have any cash. I'm sorry. And I had to walk back by them. And God was like, give them your business card. And so I handed them each a card and I was like, I don't have any money, but if you want to come in and get a free haircut on me, I'm just right down the way. It's like, just call and book an appointment. And God brought that back to my memory too, because it was like, I didn't have anything to give them, but I gave them what I could.
Absolutely. And that's a great, another takeaway right there.
Yeah. Just, it was one of those things where I was able to give them something that they probably would never give themselves.
Yes.
They aren't going to spend money on a haircut. And I mean, my haircuts are out of their price range. I'm a little more than Supercuts. So, and I got to like really talk to them and hear their hearts and hear their story. And I think they probably blessed me more than I blessed them.
Exactly.
But,
you kind of wonder, people that get involved with drugs or it starts, I think, maybe with that feeling of, you're not listening to me. My voice is not being heard. And therefore, I'm going to go anesthetize myself and feel better because no one's getting me. And maybe they were the weirdo like we are, And so I can relate to that. Wow.
Yeah. No, I even remember like after my mom died, here's a quirky thing about me. I had weird conversations with myself all the time when I was a kid. And I remember going, well, I have 2 choices. I can do whatever I want and wreak havoc, do drugs, get drunk, do whatever I want. Or I can choose to do what's right. And I'm like, because if I do whatever I want, they're going to be like, oh, her mom died. Just be patient with her. She'll be fine. Like, she's just going through something. And I was like, or I can do what's right. And I was like, no, I'll just do what's right.
That's amazing. You just made a decision to do what's right.
Yeah, I was like, I don't need to do all that other stuff. And I knew that I had the get out of jail free card.
Yeah, right. You could add the excuse, the pity card.
Yeah.
How did you get through your grief though? You know how we can get stuck in that? What?
Prayer. A lot of prayer. I had a lot of people praying for me. Mm-hmm. I started drawing. With Daddy being a pastor, do you think I don't sing?
A lot of
isn't that like every pastor's daughter has to sing? So I immersed myself in leading worship.
You know what? That worship will get you out of a funk every single time.
Oh, I just bang on my piano for hours and just
awesome.
Leave it on those keys.
That is amazing. Yeah. Love that. Love that. Oh, so good. Do you have any tips for how to stay motivated in terms of your workouts?
I think sometimes changing it up a little bit, not doing the exact same thing. Like every Monday I do this, every Tuesday I do this. Also for me, running, I don't run the same exact trail every time.
Yeah.
I have a couple different routes I take, so I change it up. I do go to the gym as well. I don't just run because with having the endurance, you need to also have a strong core. You need to have a strong upper body as well. And it's not just about the running. You have to be kind of in shape all around. And so I think just changing it up is going to help keep you motivated. Some people, I'm very self-motivated. I don't like to work out with people. I don't like to run with people. Just leave me alone. And people are like, oh, hey, let's go for a run together. I'm like, let's not.
I know. It's my
I'm kind of
alone
a
time.
jerk like that.
No, I get it.
But I think too, some people are motivated, where I have a friend who's like, if I know somebody's waiting for me at the gym, I'll be there hands down. Right. If I'm doing it on my own, I won't show up. And so, you have to know yourself. So point. If you need to grab a friend to help you, don't ask me to help you.
I hear you.
I'm not that friend, but somebody who will, because I'm also hard on you too. If you're going to go to the gym with me, and if you aren't there to do business, don't bother.
Nice.
Don't bother, because I'll push through the pain. And if you aren't willing to do that, I have no time for you.
That's good.
I have had friends who have tried to go with me, and I was like, they're like, but it hurts. I'm like, yeah.
Life hurts. You got to push through the pain, right?
That's what it's
You get stronger, and you get stronger. Yeah. But I bet you are that friend that could give us 3 beauty hacks.
I bet I could.
My makeup, my makeup was old. Oh, thank you for that. All that money now down there. It's 1 year, you should get rid of it, right? Or more?
Usually liquid is good for about 2 years.
Okay.
You'll be safe after 2 years. So just look, there might be a date on the bottom of it.
All right.
But it might be old. Sorry.
Okay.
Sorry, friend.
Good point.
Beauty hacks. Wear sunscreen.
Yes.
Be your best friend.
Check. Okay.
Start as early as young as possible.
Yes.
And reapply it throughout the day.
It's good.
I know it's a hassle, but seriously, even just sitting in your car, you're getting sun, and you wonder what all those dark spots on your face are, and they're called age spots because you got them when you were a child. And every time you go out in the sun, it pulls it to the surface a little more, a little more, a little more. And then all of a sudden, it's all over your face. And it's a lot easier to prevent it than it is to get rid of it.
Good point.
So sunscreen is your best friend.
Good.
Yes. Another one is always wash your makeup off. Yes. Do not go to bed with your makeup on.
Yes.
It will age you.
Wow.
Yeah.
I heard makeup itself ages you now. Like if I didn't wear it for a year, and I think I lost a couple years. Still not wearing it.
I think it depends on what kind you wear. Okay. There are several out there that actually have good anti-aging ingredients in it.
Does it have to be the expensive stuff, or can it be the drugstore brand that the main company, the expensive company, also makes?
Usually, I'm not going to say you always get what you pay for, but a lot of times.
Okay, I got you.
Because it's a very low grade. If you're going to get like a drugstore brand, it's going to be such a low grade of that ingredient that it's really not going to be that effective. It might have it in it, but it's really not going to do a whole lot for you. And that's why you are paying a little higher price, is because they're using a better quality of that ingredient that's going to help sustain your skin.
Okay, got it. All right. So sunscreen, wash your makeup off every night.
Yes.
I think we're going to have more than 3, actually. I feel like you have more than 3, but what else?
Here's one that a lot of people don't realize is when your hair is really wet, don't pull it back into a bun and leave it like that all day. It creates bacteria. Like if you ever have like a sponge that's wet sitting at the bottom of your sink and then it starts smelling.
Yes.
I can comb out your hair. You can sit in my chair. Your hair is completely dry and I can comb out your hair and go, you wear your hair pulled back when it's wet all the time, don't you? And I'll say, and I can pinpoint where you wear it. Wow. So it's, don't do that.
Yeah.
you're creating bacteria in your hair.
Wow. And then do you have any tips for, my hair is falling out lately, but I just started taking collagen from a liquid collagen from Isogenics. It's amazing stuff. Like it's some good liquid from the Dead Sea, whatever it is from, you know what I mean? It's not the kind where you open it, the powder where you open it and it loses its punch.
It's potency, yeah.
Yeah, this stuff is good. So,
well, I mean, technically everyone loses up to 150 strands of hair a day.
Okay.
Here's the deal. If your hair is long and if you were to get one strand of hair and wrap it up, it looks like a lot of hair.
Oh.
Plus, if you don't wash your hair every day, which, little unknown fact, I hate washing my hair and I very rarely wash my hair.
I don't watch it every day.
If you wash your hair and you hadn't washed it in a couple of days, you're actually releasing more than that 150 because you didn't release it.
Oh, that makes sense. You're so good, Amber.
So here's the thing, though. If you start losing hair, don't stress out, because if you start stressing out, you'll start losing more hair. So
that makes sense. That makes sense.
Don't stress out to stress out to not stress out.
That is good. Oh my gosh. All right, let's go into our 2 then. Do you have 2 books you want us to read?
Yeah. I'm a huge fan of Tony Evans and his series of The Kingdom. He has like Kingdom Women, Kingdom Single, Kingdom, like all these different kingdom ones. And right now I'm reading Kingdom Women, and it is fire. He wrote it with his daughter, Crystal. And it's just, it really hits home as far as who you should be as a woman of God, and kind of what God's true expectations are of us as women, not what our idea of what it should be. I think because sometimes we try to do too much and try to be too much, and God's not putting those expectations on us. We are. Yeah. And it's kind of fitting into the perimeter of God, what God is truly calling us to be, and the women that he's calling us to be. So that one's a good one. And and another one from his daughter is from Priscilla Schreier. If you haven't done the Bible study, The Armor of God, you have got to do that Bible study. It is amazing. Okay. It will change your life.
Oh, okay. Those are good. And then final thought would be 1 habit to adopt.
Make your bed every morning.
That is so funny you just said that, because for COVID is the only time I made my bed every morning. And now I had to put my bed on the floor because my dog falls off of it. He's 16. My bed is now this high off the floor. But it's easier to make it now. It's like a little camping.
Yeah.
Well, that's a good. Why do you say that we should make it every day?
Well, actually, it should be 2 things. It should be make your bed and take a shower. Okay. Because especially even during COVID, if you do those 2 things, you've accomplished 2 things, and which will make you be able to accomplish more things. That's good. It's something so simple and so trivial, but also like when you walk in your room and your bed is made, you're kind of like,
that's true.
You know, and when it's messy and all jumbled up, you're kind of like, ugh.
True.
Slumpy. You just feel slumpy.
It's so true.
But if you do that before you leave the house, it's like you already feel accomplished. And with taking the shower, it's like you just wash off whatever gunk. Sometimes I don't get in the shower till like 3 or 4 in the afternoon. That's because I'm like walking my dog, I'm working out, I'm like doing a ton of stuff, but I'm still taking that time to take a shower and just to wash the day off of you or wash the night off of you. It's those easy things that you can accomplish, and you'll see like you'll change. And if you're feeling like, even though I was feeling gross and sick, my mom always told me, if you take a shower and if you still feel sick, then you know you're really sick.
That's a good point.
Because sometimes you'll take a shower and you're like, oh, okay, I'm fine. I can do this.
That is a great point. Amber, it's been so rich talking to you. I really love getting to know you better. And ain't nobody gonna hold you down. Ain't gonna hold me down is the title of this episode. And I can see that Beast Mode's gonna treat you well. And I wish you well on your race in August. And definitely keep in touch.
Yes, I've enjoyed this. Thank you so much.
I'm gonna read your books and I'll get back to you. I'm gonna definitely get those.
Yes, they're awesome. I think you'll really like them. Maybe one day I'll have a book and I'll be like, you have to read my book.
For sure. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much. And where can we find you on social media? If you want to be found.
Do I want to be found? On my hair and makeup page, it's Touch of Grace Beauty, because my name is Amber Grace. My middle name is Grace. Yeah. So I, here in California, I kind of adopted Amber Grace. But my last name is Marquez. Yeah. But Touch of Grace Beauty is my handle for my hair and makeup. And if you want to follow my Beast Mode, it's on Run for Impact.
Love that. So, really good. Yeah. I love how you get on your story every day and talk. So
there's some days it's tough. I'm like, and I have on no makeup, and I'm looking.
That's good. No, you're looking good.
Haggard.
So good. I love this. Thank you for inspiring me so much today.
Oh, thank you. I've really enjoyed talking to you. Yes. It's been such a pleasure.
Bye.
Bye. You have a good one.
You too. Thanks.